This is the third time I am doing this video. The first time, I went through my whole reading, good news, started my little discussion that I always do, looked up and realized the camera was not running. Yep. So then I did it again. I made jest of it. I joked about it. And I did my reading. Ready to put my little light away. Looked up. It was off again. I think it's because my alarm went off twice, and when I hit the alarm, I must have shut it off. So I've now shut that alarm off. And I'm going to read it again for the third time. And I pray to God very strongly that I get through this with the camera on. So I'm going to read this one more time. And just a lot of names. When I read it the first time, I was just like, oh, okay, I got through it, pretty good. Read it the second time, I'm like, well, I'm going to add on that one more part just so I can get those names out of the way for next time. Okay. Here we go again. The Tower of Babylon. At first, the people of the whole world and had only one language and used the same words. As they wandered about in the east, they came to a plain in Babylonia and settled there. They said to one another, come on, let's make bricks and bake them hard. So they had bricks to build with and tar to hold them together. They said, now let's build a city with a tower that reaches to the sky, where we can make a name for ourselves and not be scattered all over the earth. Then the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which they had built, and he said, now then, these are all one people, and they speak one language. This is the beginning of what they are going to do. Soon they will be able to do anything they want. Let us go down and mix up their languages so they will not understand each other. So the Lord scattered them all over the earth, and they stopped building the city. The city was called Babylon because the Lord mixed up the language of all the people, and from there he scattered them all over the earth. And the descendants of Shem. These are the descendants of Shem. 2 years after the flood, when Shem was 100 years old, he had a son, Arpachshad. After that, he lived 500 years and had other children. When Arpachshad was 35 years old, he had a son, Shelah. After that, he lived another 403 years and had other children. When Shelah was 30 years old, he had a son, Eber, and after that, he lived another 403 years and had other children. When Eber was 34 years old, he had a son, Peleg. After that, he lived another 430 years and had other children. When Peleg was 30 years old, he had a son, Reu. After that, he lived another 209 years and had other children. When Reu was 32 years old, he had a son, Serug. After that, he lived another 207 years and had other children. When Serug was 30 years old, he had a son, Noor. After that, he lived another 200 years and had other children. When Noor was 29 years old, he had a son, Terah. After that, he lived another 119 years and had other children. After Terah was 7 years old, he became the father of Abraham, Nahor, and Haran. The descendants of Terah. These are the descendants of Terah, who was the father of Abraham, Nahor, and Haran. Haran was the father of Lot, and Haran died in his hometown of Ur in Babylonia, while his father was still living. Abraham married Sarai, and Nahor married Milcah, the daughter of Haran, who was also the father of Iscah. Sarai was not able to have children. Terah took his son Abraham, his grandson Lot, who was the son of Haran, and his daughter-in-law Sarai, Abraham's wife, and with them he left to the city of Ur in Babylonia to go to the land of Canaan. They went as far as Haran and settled there. Terah died there at the age of 205. The camera's still on. Thank you, God. Okay. So, strangely enough, I was talking to my husband about how, people live all over the world, and they all speak different languages. And, you know, this story explains how that all came about. Because when I was young, I remember thinking, how'd that happen? You know, and, you know, that explains it all, you know, to you, what he did, you know, and why. You know, you sit there, you know, it's such a mystery, and it's such a beautiful mystery, because clearly we all come from these descendants. So we're all descendants of these people, because we all, you know, all of us are from different parts of the world. Our parents are from different parts of the world, you know, whatever the case may be. But we don't realize that we can't find our genealogy back to that far, but you know that it, you know, it originates from there. It was funny because I was listening to something with Father Mike, and he was talking about that and how we are part of them, you know. And I never even really thought of it, you know. I mean, I've done, like I told you before, I've done genealogy, and you know I've gone back, you know, ancestors, Napoleon, but you just don't think how far we actually go back, how far our descendants go back. So it's kind of, it's an amazing thing. But it also shows that Jesus was going to make that God was going to make sure that the world was right and went in the way it should, and he did what he had to do to make sure that happened, you know. So, you know, you wonder, had he not, what would have happened, you know. But I guess maybe because of what happened before the flood, maybe he wanted to make sure that things didn't get out of control again. And so, you know, he did what he had to do. So, it's just really, really interesting. It still amazes me that the age of a lot of these people died, and I can only imagine what it'd be like to know that I had another 300 years or something to live. Just, I know a lot of people go, why would you want to, you know? Well, I would, you know? I mean, I would. I'd love to see my family, you know, grow up. I don't know that I'll ever, you know, I mean, my children are grown, but I don't have any grandchildren yet. So, you know, I hope I live long enough to see them. I am 65, so, you know, who knows? None of us know, I guess, you know. But I just find it very, very fascinating. And I just started putting on the catechism, 365 days of the catechism. But Father Mark also does a 365 days of the Bible. And I was going to start there, but then I thought to myself, well, I'm doing the Good News Bible every Sunday, so maybe, I don't know. I mean, he's going to definitely explain a lot of things, or a million times better than I will, because I'm clearly not, you know, a priest. But I may do that after we do the 365 days of catechism. But the catechism, and you know, here I am, I've been a Catholic all my life, and I mean, I know we went to catechism, and I know that has something to do with it, but there is the book, the Catechism, and some of you may know, and I just didn't know this book existed, and I just ordered it from eBay. I ordered the 365 Days of the Catechism and the Catechism. It's got 900 pages in it, because I want to follow along with this 365 Days of Catechism that they're doing, that I'm posting. But it's basically, if you don't know, like I didn't, it's just how to basically live the life of a Catholic, doing, you know, correctly. So, I'm hoping, I know I did ask, you know, and I know sometimes when I post a lot, you might have missed it, but there was a poll, and I wanted to find out, and you can still do it, just so I know that you are enjoying it. But, I put up there who was interested in me doing it, and my friend Assunta did say she wanted to, so I I know her and I are. I don't know if anybody else is following it along, but it's very, very interesting. And he doesn't keep it too long. The one I posted yesterday, the part 3, was a little longer because more he was talking to somebody else, but going after that, they're shorter. So, I don't know. Everybody has, you know, busy lives and stuff. I do all this stuff at night when my family's in bed. Sure, you know. My husband says I'm going to bed. I said I'm going to my office. This is how that's working out right now. So I'm doing that, and what else? There was something else that I said in the second video that I did that I didn't tape, and I can't remember what I was going to tell you now. I just posted about the Divine Mercy Chaplet. I just posted the history about that because my sister was talking about that tonight when I was talking to her on the phone. And I'm not, like I said, I'm just trying to put other things out there. I am still doing my studies on the Catholic Online School. And the questions, and I use a lot of those questions, the question of the day, because they really make you think. You know, I mean, they're things we know. I know, you know, like, you know, how we should be good and things like that. But the questions that they ask really make you think about that. Like, you know, we just sort of, you know, haphazardly, yeah, you know, I have to be a good person and I should be a good person, you know, but this really kind of makes you think about why you should be a good person, you know, and it goes into explaining that. It's very, very interesting if anybody has any extra time. I did post the link once. I can post it again if anybody's interested, but it's extremely interesting. Priests come in and different priests, and they'll, you know, talk about it. And then we, you know, there's a little test at the end. I mean, you don't have to do that. You might want to do it just to hear or to even read. Like I said, I want to give my all to this. This is not something, as I was saying to my husband, I just don't want to be like, you know, I filled out my name and address and boom, I'm a minister. I've got something in my mail for Reverend Tina Sundin, and I was just like, okay, you know, and that means something to me. So I'm not taking it as just taking it lightly, and I'm not taking it as just another thing to do, or I'm gonna do and not do, you know. No, this is like, I'm real serious about it, and I think it saved me from the grief of my mom. I don't even think it saved me. It saved me. I was in a real dark place. I still, you know, I still have a hard time believing she's gone. But my nights for a couple months were just crying, or, you know, nightmares, and so I believe that when I scrolled by this, I believe that she sent it to me to save me, and that's what I believe. And so it has, and it's given me a purpose and I want to get to heaven. I want to be with her again, and so I've got to work at doing that. So that's the way I'm looking at it, I guess. Thought about the other night, and I was like, yeah, I want to be with her again, and the only way I'm going to do that is by being the best I can be. So I guess that's all. We're almost at our 15 minutes. If anybody finds anything that they think is interesting that we should put on there, please let me know. Like I said, I mean, I'm putting a little of everything. I'm trying not to, you know, at the beginning I wasn't too sure what to put, and so I was putting a lot of music, which I still do put some music. But I'm trying to put a lot of things on there so we can all learn together. And so I hope, you know, you're finding it interesting. And if there's anything that you'd say, hey, Tina, I found this, it'd be really interesting, send it to me. I will post it. Yeah, I'm good with that. So please don't hesitate. And I'll keep, like I said, I do have some books coming in. And if anybody's interested in doing the online school, let me know. I will post the link again. I guess that's about it. So I hope you all have a beautiful Sunday. I hope I made you laugh a little bit at the beginning. Not made you cry at the end. I didn't mean to get emotional, but it still hurts. But I'm doing okay. I wish you all a beautiful Sunday. God bless you all. And have a beautiful day. Thank you.